Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this lesson, we are going to discuss how we classify angles. Let's go ahead and do that. First, we're going to look at acute angles, right angles, obtuse angles, straight angles, and reflex angles. So people rarely talk about reflex angles, but we are going to talk about them here, and we also know how we can classify angles as reflex. All right, so let's look at some sketches of these different forms of angles, angle classifications. All right, so it's very important to know that in general, angles are marked using arcs. So I explained that in my previous lesson, lesson number 23, where I was showing how you can name angles. So angles are marked using arcs. Okay, so let's go ahead and just and do some learning here. All right, so acute angles are really small angles. They're very small. Okay, they're angles that are greater than zero, but less than 90 degrees. Okay, so but this is how you write that in algebra. An acute angle x, let me put x right here, is that angle that is greater than zero. See, so I'm reading that from right to left. X is greater than zero, or zero is less than x. So there are angles that are greater than zero if we read it from right to left, but it's less than 90 degrees. Again, angles are measured in degrees. All right. So this is how you represent acute angles. So if you want to give examples of acute angles, there will be maybe 1 degree, very small, 20 degrees, angles such 75 degrees, 45, even 89 degrees will be considered as an acute angle. As long as it is less than 90 degrees, it will be an acute angle. So let's go ahead and look at right angles. So right angles are angles that are exactly 90 degrees. So, and we represent that using like a square box. If you ever see this, okay, this notation that represent 90-degree angle. All right, so some other time it can be marked as an arc, but they would write the value 90. Okay, so these are the two ways that we can recognize right angles. All right, so if we want to write it, we say if this is x, so a right angle x is exactly equal to 90 degrees. And you can see that over here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do obtuse angles. For obtuse angles, you can see how it begins to open more than the sharp corner for 90 degrees, so open more, so it's greater. All right, it's just like when you're in the process of forming a rainbow. So it's opening more and more and more. So here, we're going to call this one an obtuse angle. And in order to define an obtuse angle, we'll say an obtuse angle x is that angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So I'm reading from right to left, but less than 180 degrees. This is the definition of an obtuse angle, okay, or obtuse angles in general. So examples will be 91, okay, 100, 120, 150, and so on. And then we can even do 179.9, as long as it's not 180. So that would be considered as an obtuse angle. So let's go ahead and do a straight angle. So a straight angle is formed on a straight line. So when two rays uh, intersect and they're opposites, okay, two opposite rays that intersect, they form a straight line. When the straight line is formed, you have two right angles combined. So it's a 90 plus 90. That's going to be 180. 180 degrees. So that means a straight angle is that angle x, which is exactly 180 degrees. All right, so let's talk about a reflex angle. So a reflex angle is very different, like I mentioned before. So a reflex angle measures from the exterior, okay? So a reflex angle measures from the exterior. So that's why you define a reflex angle as an angle that is greater than 180 degrees but it's less than 360 degrees. Okay. All right. So that's the reflex angle, and you can always be able to form the vertex for each angle. All right. So examples of reflex angles will be 181, like 200, like 300. As long as it's less than 360, we'll take that. 350, and so on and so forth. So I hope you have been able to learn the different ways of classifying angles, and I will see you in the next lesson. Go ahead and subscribe and like, comment, and share. Thank you very much.